Over here, I see people just kind of milling about. Looks like they're just kind of in a daze right now. They're just kind of shocked by what they're seeing right now, and honestly, quite honestly, we are too, by this active shooter emergency right now that Metro Police and other agencies are responding to.
Joe, are you getting any sense of whether those people who you were just telling us about, whether they were inside the hotel, whether they were able to see the shooter, or can you even get anywhere near them?
I haven't been able to go across the street just yet, but I have seen them, some of them wearing cowboy hats, and of course this was a country music festival, so it looks like that these were probably concert goers. We've seen other folks that have their luggage. One gentleman had his luggage and his dog with him, so these are clearly people that are possibly tourists. These are visitors who are enjoying the strip and now caught here in this active shooter situation. They're trying to get away from this situation because you can't easily get away. There's really no way in terms of getting by on vehicle. You have to get back on foot south of the strip and then get picked up over there. But these people just kind of fleeing from Las Vegas Boulevard here, just in front of the McCarran Field Executive Terminal, not knowing what they're going to do next, probably just trying to catch their breaths, trying to process what was going on, if they're in touch with their loved ones or someone like that. You know, they're on their cell phones right now, you know, probably trying to make phone calls, desperate phone calls, trying to get text messages through, trying to communicate people from not only around the country, but around the world. Letting them know that yes, there is this situation, an active shooter situation, and I am safe. I am, you know, where I am. I'm by the McCarran Terminal, but I am safe. And if you're seeing this on the news right now, and of course, Las Vegas gets worldwide attention. So of course, this is going to be, you know, mentioned and spoken about really around the world right now, breaking right now in our own backyard, this active shooter situation. And unfortunately, we are hearing from people who are inside, who are nearby what's going on, telling us that there are multiple people shot, there are multiple people dead, and right now the situation is very dynamic. It is still not at any conclusion. It is still active right now. So if you have any reason to be anywhere, or if you can avoid this area, please do so while police work on the situation.
Okay, Joe, I understand we have more crews heading there. We've got the chopper heading out there. And Joe, let me just give the folks a recap of what's happening. Reports of gunfire down on the strip. It's shutting down part of the strip near Mandalay Bay. Of course, Joe Bartels has been out there on the scene doing fantastic work. We have our chopper coming up. Do we have that chopper video just yet? Anything from the chopper yet? No, we don't. Okay. But we have video of the scene right now. You can see through those trees, police cars out there. From what Joe was telling us before, there have to be more than 100 police cars out there from Las Vegas Police, from Henderson Police, probably from other police departments. We have what we know right now, or what we have reports of right now, is that there's been a shooting. Several people have been shot. We don't have any sense yet of how many people have been shot. I'm being told right now we have a witness, an eyewitness who was on the phone named Joseph. Joe, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I was at the Tropicana Hotel staging in my taxi. I seen a lot of people running in the opposite direction of the Harvest Festival. They had a worried look on their faces. I tried to stop anyone, find out what was going on. Somebody finally stopped. They told me machine gun fire. I started walking in the direction of the Harvest Festival through the valet. I had to stop because I could smell the smoke. Whether it was gunfire or something else, I don't know. But that I did recognize the smoke as a gunfire. It was a rapid machine gun sound. Brrr. It wasn't the old style machine gun out of World War II.
Joe, this must have been a terrifying situation. What was going through your mind as you're hearing that rapid staccato repeat of what sounds like may have been machine gun fire and seeing all these people around you scattering? What was going through your mind as all this was going down?
Evacuate anybody I can get a hold of. I was able to get 2 people into my cab. I tried to get more people into my cab. I was unable to. They were zoned out. I mean, it was as though they had one thing on their mind, to get away from the area as far as possible. But, you know, I have been told by law enforcement that this would happen. That it was a matter of when a situation like this would happen. So I had planned ahead of time to evacuate as many people as I could, and I was able to help out two passengers in my cab.
Joe, I want to keep you there right now. Don't go away. I just want to mention to folks we are on Facebook Live for those of you who want to interact with us on Facebook Live. But Joe, this must have been a terrifying situation. You come in from out of town into Las Vegas to enjoy, to have fun, to relax, and then this horrifying, terrifying situation happens. Tell us, Joe, how scary, how terrifying was all this?
Oh, it was. I mean, maximum terror is to the max. I mean, it was to the max. As soon as, I mean, I'm half deaf, and I could hear this machine gun fire, and I thought, here we go. Here we go. A lot of people are going to get hit. A lot of people are going to die, in which I have already seen a video of. It's unfortunate. It really is. But it's survival mode out there. Survival instincts kick in. But I did not have time to be afraid. I had time to evacuate people in my cab, and that's what I do for a living.
So, Joe, you were in your cab when this was happening?
Yes, I was staging at the Tropicana Hotel.
Joe, this must have been, I can't imagine what you must be going through, but you say that you're half deaf or that you have a hearing impairment, and that even with that hearing impairment, you could hear all this noise and all this commotion. Joe, stay safe out there. Are you in a safe place, Joe? Joe, you still there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay. You stay safe, okay? Stay in contact with us, all right? Let us know what's going on. We may come back to you. We probably will come back to you. I'm being told now that we have some live video of some crowds on there in the Strip. Can we see that? Can we call that up? Okay. But right now, here's a okay. This is the video right now down on the Strip. You can see there are people, there are crowds, there are throngs of people. I think I see some people laying down. It sounds like there are gunshots out there. This is absolutely incredible. Some people are still crouching down, some standing up. And from what I understand, this is live video, or is this from earlier? Okay, this is from earlier. Okay, this is not live video. This is from earlier. This is video of people during the actual, what we believe were gunshots, and what police say was gunfire. You could hear earlier on some of those gunshots firing off in rapid succession, and of course, oh yeah, let's do it right now. It sounds. It sounds like fireworks, but if you've ever been around guns, it also sounds like the rapid fire of semi-automatic weapons. We want to keep that volume down a little bit there because we're not sure about what's being said out there. But you can see people scrambling, people climbing over those barricades, running for their dear lives, running for safety. This is just absolutely awful out here. There are people who are just scattering everywhere, trying to make sure they're safe, trying to keep out of harm's way. And now, Danny, back in the control room, do we have video of that chopper yet? We don't have video of the chopper yet. Okay, let's stay with this video right now because it is just so compelling. Like I was saying earlier in the year, we had that active shooting situation down on the Strip. It happened during the daytime. This, of course, happening at night when there are a lot more people out there, when there are people out enjoying their evening, even though this is a Sunday night. This is, of course, Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, the city that never sleeps. I understand that Joe, our reporter, Joe Bartels, is out there still? Okay, we're not going to go back to Joe. Can we get another picture up of what's happening out there? Can we see what... So the traffic cam there. Okay, this is a live look at the traffic cam. This is the 15 near Flamingo heading north. You can see it is almost desolate out there. There are no cars. Is that the northbound side or is that the southbound side we're looking at? Well, at any rate, we can see very few cars out there heading north. Police are shutting down certain roads in the areas. We understand from what we heard from our news director, Mike Delastrito, earlier that part of the roadway where he is was like a parking lot. And this, of course, is around 11:20 at night. Of course, he came to us earlier, but still, you don't expect the highway to be, or the roadways to be like a parking lot. We understand that a good section of the Las Vegas Strip is shut down. I want to recap what's happening out there. There are reports of gunfire on the Strip. We heard the sound of rapid fire, what sounded like rapid fire semi-automatic weapons being fired. It's shutting down part of the Strip near Mandalay Bay. We have crews on the scene right now. We have crews heading out to the scene. We have Chopper 13 about to head to the scene. You're watching video from earlier of people scattering, people running away, trying to save their lives after they hear the gunshot. They have no idea where those shots are being fired, who is firing them, or why. They don't know what is happening, what is going on. I want to go back to, if we can, that video of the people crouching down, just because it is so compelling. Can we see that video again? Okay, here's that video again. Okay, you see people crouching down after they hear gunshots. They are looking to see what's going on. You can hear the gunshots in the background. They are looking to see what's going on. There are people who are just terrified, out of their wits, out of their minds, trying to figure out just what in the world is going on out there. Who is doing this? Why are they doing this? What is happening? We know that Las Vegas has been preparing for massive events like this, massive violent events like this. Take a look, there were people climbing over those barricades trying to run for their lives. And you can see right now, is this live or is this recorded video? This is recorded video. This is recorded video of police out there on the Strip, out there on the scene. You can see lots of police cars, lots of police walking to and from the area around Mandalay Bay. Again, reports of gunshots near the Mandalay Bay on the Strip. We have a witness now, we're told. We have a witness on the phone, and her name is Lauren, I understand?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, his name is Lawrence. Lawrence, tell us, what did you see? What did you hear?
So we ended up leaving like 5 minutes before the gunfire went. We were walking down Las Vegas Boulevard going south. We heard a pop. It sounded like just a firework, something that you think normally happens in Vegas. And then it just started going pop, 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 pop. We were sitting over by 8 Motel waiting for an Uber, and it just kept going, and it was nonstop.
Okay, Lawrence, we're also hearing reports that police are moving, or that people who are inside the Mandalay Bay are being moved down to the basement right now. Lawrence, where are you right now?
We actually were able to get out of there before they shut everything down. There were hundreds of cops coming down, lights blaring, AMR, Medic West, all of them were coming to the scene.
And Lawrence, as you're watching all this, as you're watching the people around you, I assume you're seeing the people running, scrambling for their lives. What in the world is going through your mind?
I am just so happy that my wife and I were able to avoid something like this. It's one of those things that's surreal. You don't realize what's going on and how life-changing it can be just in that moment. So I'm just thankful for all of our friends getting out, and hopeful for anyone that got hurt that they have a good, quick recovery.
So Lawrence, you head down to the Strip, you hope for a fun night out, and then this happens. This must have been absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it was one of those things that just, it even took a while for us to understand what was happening. You're walking down the Strip, you're hearing it go off. There's a second, they're reloading, it goes off again. You know, it's not something that just really clicks in your mind that happens in the middle of Vegas.
Lawrence, did you have any idea that those were gunshots that you were hearing? I think you were telling us before that you thought that this may have been sort of a norm, but did you have any idea at the time if those were gunshots?
It took a while. It took a really good while that, you know, it sounded like firecrackers. It sounded like, you know, just a bunch of firecrackers going out, which is not a unusual thing here in Vegas. And it wasn't until it just kept coming and we were passing people in the street questioning, isn't that gunfire, that we just finally realized it. And basically at that point, everyone along the Strip in front of Mandalay Bay just got behind something and just watched the cops roll into action.
So Lawrence, I assume that you got behind something. I assume that you were safe and are in a safe place now?
yeah, we're safe now, and just hopeful for everyone else that is still in that situation.
Lawrence, just one other question I have for you. What do those gunshots sound like? I mean, you know, you hear these type of rapid fire gunshots in movies and you're like, you think that may not sound realistic, but what do those gunshots sound like to you?
Just pops, just little pops, just like a firework would go off. And it was the context of where we were at. If we were, you know, somewhere in the middle of a war zone or something, I'm sure it would have clicked quicker. But sitting outside of Mandalay Bay, it just sounded like people were setting off fireworks.
And did you see people running around, people scrambling, people scattering?
There were a lot of people running around. There were a lot of people that didn't realize what was going on. But I think it's once all of the police officers showing up, that's what kind of got people back into reality of what was happening.
All right, Lawrence Bernard, thank you so much. One of the witnesses of an active shooter down at Mandalay Bay. He said he was so happy he and his wife were able to avoid it, and we are too. We are sad to report, though, if you are just tuning in this evening, that there are reports of an active shooter down in the Mandalay Bay area. Clark County tweeting out that the shooting happened at the end of a performance by Jason Aldean at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, and we're just getting reports that flights will be affected in and out of McCarran Airport. As they're warning people, something's happening on the south end of the Strip, and you're looking at pictures of a massive police presence, which Chris has been watching unfold all night.
And Beth, when you were driving in here, were you stuck in any of this traffic at all? Did you see anything when you were coming in?
I avoided it and took surface streets, so I went through the heart of the city because I knew that the freeway and that end of the Strip would be blocked. Now we have reporter David Schuman, who is live at UMC, as we have our crews scattered all over. Oh, it's just video from UMC. So let's take a look at the video from David Schuman. All right, there we see it. So what you're looking at here is just a huge police presence. UMC, of course, the trauma center in our city, and so that is the first place that victims would be taken. And we're getting reports of approximately 10 victims at Mandalay Bay as someone opened fire down on the Las Vegas Strip tonight.
And Beth, we're also getting reports that the 15 is shut down from Tropicana to Russell. And I also want to remind people that this at least reminds me of that active shooting situation that we had on a weekend during the daytime back earlier in the year, where there was a man who was on or who was near a bus there. This is very reminiscent of that. This one, of course, right now is at night. We don't have that many details on this as far as who or what happened or why this happened. What we do know is that we do now have some video of the chopper. Okay. All right, I'm being told we'll have that video of the chopper pretty soon. Okay, but what we do know is that the shooting happened near Mandalay Bay. Several people were shot. There were people who were scrambling, running for their lives, trying to get to safety, trying to get away from the scene. Let's go back to that video, if we can, of the people who were crouching down behind those barricades, trying to stay safe. If we can bring up that video. Can we? Yeah, look at that right now. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see that yet, Beth, but wow, it was just so terrifying seeing people crouching down behind the barricades. You can actually hear what sound like gunshots, in the background of that video. And then after this, after people get up and they see what's happening, or they get an idea of what's happening, they start running, okay? Take a look at this. People jumping over barricades, trying to get away from this, running for their lives, trying to get to safety, not having any idea of what is going on. And this is just an absolutely terrifying, desperate situation. Part of the Strip still locked down. We understand that people who were in Mandalay Bay were being taken down to the base lanes. Some of the people who were in the area, I guess, in the around the lobby, I'm going to guess, were taken down to the basement to try to keep them out of harm's way. Again, we don't know who is responsible for this or why this is happening. What we do know is this is an active situation, an active shooter situation. It is very dangerous. People's lives are at risk. So avoid that area at all costs.
Yeah, great advice there, Chris. Listen, everyone, stay right here with Channel 13 all night long. We're going to be bringing you live coverage. We have reporters scattered up and down the Strip, reporters at UMC, reporters at nearby churches. We also have Chopper 13 en route. Chopper's not there yet. We just got it up off the ground as all of our team got this late night emergency call to come in and get to work for you. And it's our privilege, but we do it with a heavy heart tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we get reports of an active shooter down on the Strip. And Chris, earlier I was watching your coverage, just stunned as we saw the